2024 Alpine White M2 Manual transmission coupe with the carbon fiber roof. Probably the only way to order this car. And while Alpine White may not be as fetching as some other colors that you see these cars in, I think it looks damn good. The hood has that subtle power bulge, and any car with blistered fenders is just undeniably badass. It's particularly pronounced in the rear of this car, where it wears a staggered wheel and tire setup. Those rear tires have quite a footprint. And the back has that almost delicate looking rear spoiler, and I'm sure it must have some effect on the downforce of this car at higher speeds. Otherwise, why would BMW have even bothered? But it is a very individualistic car in this age of SUVs, crossovers, pickup trucks. I mean, how many smallish two-door coupes do you see on the road anymore? Not many. So we're going to take this for a drive, and we're going to see if this still has got it. Driving the 2024 BMW M2 coupe. You have all the proper ingredients here: 6-speed manual gearbox, lack of a sunroof, which tells you that you're in something pretty serious. And of course, this has north of 450 horsepower, linked up to just the rear wheels. We don't need no stinking all-wheel drive. We can manage the power with our feet. And that is what we're going to find out, if this is at all any good, or if it's just another overhyped super performance coupe that doesn't meet expectations. I can tell you the clutch is pretty light. It's properly quick. feel is not one of this car's strong suits. But wow, that engine, it's pretty spectacular. I'm a sucker for the rumble of a big V8 motor, but I mean, this is just, it's so effortless and torquey and soulful sounding. I mean, this is a motor, a turbocharged motor that actually sounds really, really good. So this car will cruise if you wanted to. I'm going to crank up the intensity here just a little bit and switch into Sport Plus. I said earlier about the rev matching on downshifts. This is rewarding in a different way. You know you get it right when the car is not correcting your rev match. And I could tell right then and there my rev match was perfect, and man, that feels good. So while we're sitting here, I'm consolidating my thoughts. Look, I really like this car. I could see how driving this would become an addiction. You get addicted to the power. It's got a very raw, visceral feel. You can see everybody wants to race you. And there's a little bit of that wastegate sound as the turbos dump their boost at higher RPMs when you let off the throttle. That's nice. And I feel like I would really need to take a couple hot laps around a track somewhere to properly explore this car's capabilities. Feels like it's got so much more to offer, and we're limited as to what we can actually do on regular roadways with speed limits and other motorists. I do need to be mindful of safety, but suffice it to say, I'm very, very impressed by the dynamics of this car. You know, you read a lot about how modern cars don't have soul and the character is diluted and all this other nonsense. I don't really think that holds true, at least in this application of BMW Motorsport's take on a small, short wheelbase two-door coupe. Notice I didn't say lightweight. This car is not light, not by any stretch of the imagination. I think we're at 3,700 pounds here. Another small nitpick, and I believe this was corrected in the 25 version of this car. The gear change is kind of rubbery feeling. It's not the greatest linkage I've ever felt in a sports car. It's not terrible, but it's a bit of a disappointment considering how adept the crest of this car is a super spirited, high performance driving. And I'm not in love with the feel of the clutch either. It's a bit light for my taste without a whole lot of actual feel. I'm sure with a couple more miles under my belt, all of that would be a forgotten memory, but right now, I'm still getting used to it. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember, if you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and tune in for the next one.